Welcome to Number Systems Lesson 9. This is Mrs. Smith from Roy Elementary, and we are here to learn about the coordinate plane, quadrants, plotting pairs, polygons, and finding distance. And I know right now you're like, what in the world? By the end of this, you're going to say, oh, that was so fun. Here we have our lesson objective. Will you read this with me? Starting at the word I can. Ready? Go. I can plot, reflect, find the distance between ordered pairs, and create polygons on a coordinate plane. All right, so let's jump in. We have some vocabulary that we're going to go through. We're going to learn about the coordinate plane and what that means. We're going to learn about plotting pairs and what quadrants are. So let's take a look. This graphic has a lot of stuff going on, but overall, this is showing us what a coordinate plane looks like and is. The first thing I'm going to direct your attention to is what we call the x-axis. It's this horizontal axis right here in pink. That is our horizontal or our x-axis. The first number in our ordered pair represents that x. Now, in yellow right here, nope, just kidding. Let's see if we can get it. Here we go. In yellow right here, ooh, hard to see. Let's try a different color, green. There we go. Just double do it. Right there is what we call the y-axis or the vertical axis. Okay, the second number in our ordered pair represents this axis. Okay, let's clear some of this out so we can see. And the next thing I'm going to direct your attention to is this beautiful thing right here in, let's try this color. There we go. In blue, we have this ordered pair, 0, 0. Remember, the first number is our x number. It tells me to go left or right. The second number is my y number. It tells me to go, yes, you guessed it, up or down. So this spot right here on the coordinate plane where our x and our y meet in the middle is called the origin. And we're going to start at the origin a lot today. So let's make sure we remember that that center starting spot is called the origin. Say it with me, the origin. Okay, so now let's look at right here. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. You might have a question that asks, like, for example, let me put a point on here. And that's pink, right? And it might say, what quadrant is that pink point in? And right now it's easy to see that it's in quadrant 4. But I will tell you, sometimes I see kids label it like this because this is how we're used to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because that's how we're used to seeing things. But that's not how the coordinate plane works with quadrants. So a good tip and a way that I remember it is coordinate plane starts with the letter C, right? So when I write a letter C, I always start right here. C for coordinate plane. And as I write it, I follow the order that the quadrants go. So here in quadrant 1, my x number is positive, I go to the right. My y number is positive, I go up. Here in quadrant 2, my x number is negative because I went to the left, and my y number is positive because I went up, right? Okay, down here in quadrant 3, my x number is negative because I went to the left. My y number would be negative because I go down. And the last one, quadrant 4, my x number is positive because I go to the right. My y number is negative because I go down. Okay, that's going to help us as we start identifying what quadrant points are in. But very first, let's practice plotting or showing where a point is on a coordinate grid. So here we have our ordered pair, 3, 7. And down here we have the steps. So I'm going to walk you through these steps as we go. Step number 1, start at the origin. Remember, the origin is that center spot on our graph right here, the origin. And step number 2 says move left or right for the x coordinate. So here's my x coordinate, and I'm going to move. It's positive, so I'm going to move to the right 3 spaces. And I'm going to go to the corner of the boxes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then my y coordinate tells me to go up or down. And since it's positive, I'm going to go up 7. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll put our ordered pair right there. And let's just call that point A for now. You'll see later on that we're going to name our ordered pairs with letters so that it's easier to find them on the grid. If you've ever played Battleship, this is very similar to Battleship, but in Battleship, you usually just stay in quadrant 1, and now we have 4 quadrants we get to go to, which makes it even more fun. Okay, so now we are going to plot the ordered pair -2, -4. Start at the origin, the center, right? And the first number tells me to go left or right. Since it's negative, I'm going to go to the left 2, 1, 2. And then this number tells me to go up or down. And it says -4, so I'm going to go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put a spot there. And let's call this point P. Point P. All right. Start at the origin, go left or right, and then go up or down. I like to remember it as a story like this. When I go into an elevator, I go in the elevator, and then I can choose to go up or down, right? And the elevator could be on my left or my right. So I go in the elevator and then up or down. In the elevator and up or down. In the elevator and then up or down. In and then up. Okay, so I am going to ask you to pause your video now and try problems 1, 2, and 3 on your own. All right, I'm assuming you paused your video, so now let's just go through it so I can show you if you did it right. The first ordered pair, over 3, up 4, you should be right around here. I know it's not exact. It's kind of tricky to write on a Chromebook, and you can do it. Just do the best that you can. So that's number 1. I'm just going to put a 1 there so that I know. Okay, ordered pair number 2 says -2, -3. So I'm going to go to the right 2 and down 3, and then I'm going to put my thing there, best that I can, and put a 2. And then the last one says over 0, up 6, right? So over 0, up 6. I don't have to go anywhere. I start at the origin, go over 0, stay there, and then up 6 would be about right here, and that is point 3. Check your work, see how you did. Give yourself a pat on the back if you did great. It's kind of fun. All right, now we're going to switch gears a little bit, and it's asking us what quadrant are these points in. So let's look at this ordered pair first. We have 5, 2. So you could graph it, you could plot it and see where it lands. You could just use your imagination and see where it lands, or you could use a trick. But I'm going to graph this first one. So it tells me the ordered pair is 5, 2. So I go to the right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 2, and I would be about right here. Okay. Now, which quadrant? Quad means 4, so it wants to know which of the 4 sections it's in. Remember my trick, that letter C, to help us remember what quadrant it's in. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? You follow the letter C. So number 1 is in quadrant, and we just label it Q, and then with the Roman numeral 1, quadrant 1. All right, the next point, we know our X is negative and our Y is negative. Do you remember which quadrant has an X negative and a Y negative? Say it out loud if you know. 1, 2, 3. It is quadrant 3. Our X is negative and our Y is negative. And it would be, somewhere over here-ish. I don't have to put it on here. It didn't ask me to put it on here. So then we would name that Q, 3. Quadrant 3. Not too bad, right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to try the next ones. The other 4. You can use the trick knowing positives and negatives. You could label your coordinate grid with 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can just plot the dots on there and see what quadrant they're in. And I'll give you the answers in just a minute. Go ahead and click pause. All right, welcome back. Let's go through these answers for these ones really quickly. Problem number 6, you should have put quadrant 1. Problem number 7, you should have put quadrant 4 IV. Okay. Problem number 8, quadrant 2. And problem number 9, quadrant 3. If you did awesome on this, I want you to give yourself a Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah, you go 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, like the Kool-Aid Man. Go ahead and do that. If you did great, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. If not, pause, go back and watch again and see what you did wrong. All right, now let's look at this one. Problem number 10 says over 0 up 2. So I start at the origin and I go up 2, and my point is right here. We might notice that point is kind of in between quadrants 1 and 2. It's not inside either of them. So what quadrant do you think it's in? This is when I wish you were here so that I could hear your answer. And I hope that you're saying it's not in a quadrant, and it's actually on a special line that we talked about for a minute at the beginning of our lesson. It's on that y-axis. So it's not in a quadrant, so we would just put y-axis. All right, so let's look at number 11. I go over 1, up 0. So now I'm here. Now, based on what we did on number 1 and the trends that you're seeing, you should notice it's in between now quadrants 1 and 4, but it's not right on a quadrant or in a quadrant. So we would say it's on the x-axis. All right, I want you to try number 12, 13, and 14, and I will give you the answers in just a minute. Go ahead and click pause. Welcome back. All right, problem number 12, you should say x-axis. Problem number 13, we should say y-axis. And problem number 14 is tricky. It's right here. It's on the x, it's on the y, it's in between all 4 coordinates. But if you remember, 0, 0 has a special name. It's the center of the graph. It's the origin. If you got that right, give yourself a whoop, whoop. 1, 2, 3, whoop, whoop. All right. If not, go back and see what you did wrong. All right, now we have the points already graphed for us, and we need to tell them what ordered pair should go there. So let's look at point P here. Remember, I go in and then up to get point P. So first I have to tell what number I went to the right. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my x number, positive 4. And then to get, I go up 1, 2, so positive 2. All right, let's look at point Q now. Point Q, I go to the left and then down. So let's start at the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, but I went left, so it needs to be a negative 4. And then down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. I want you to try point R and point S. And we'll talk about it in a minute. Go ahead and try. Pause and try on your own. All right, welcome back. Let's give you the coordinates of point R and point S. Point R, we should have positive 1 and negative 2. Point S, we should have negative 3, positive 3. I went to the left and then the right. If you got that right, I'm going to teach you a brain kiss. You kiss your hand and then hit your head. 1, 2, 3. Brain kiss. Great job. Now, remember how we talked about we were going to put ordered pairs, find ordered pairs on the coordinate plane, find the quadrants on the coordinate plane. Now we're going to talk about polygons. In 5th grade, you learned about polygons. A polygon is a closed shape with at least 3 sides. Okay, so let's look at this. And I'm just going to highlight really quick for us so that we can see. Here's our y-axis. Here's our x-axis. It's kind of hard to see on here. All right. Let's name the coordinates of the vertices. That's just a fancy word for the points. So let's name the coordinates for point A. So start at the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so I went left 6. So I would have a -6 here. And then I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Positive 9. All right, let's do the same for point B. Start at the origin, and I go 1, 2 to the left. So I would have -2 here. And then I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the same as A. How many of you noticed that? Positive 9 for that one. All right, now let's talk about point C. Oh my goodness, point C. Here we go. Start at the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same as A. Left 6, so I put -6. Down 1, -1. And then point D. Start at the origin. Start at the origin. And go to the left 1, 2. So -2, just like point B. And down 1, just like point C, -1. Now, can you tell me what polygon, if I connected all 4 of those dots, what polygon or shape would that make? Say it out loud. 1, 2, 3. All right, it does make a rectangle. I'm not going to write the whole word. I'm just going to write rec for rectangle. Okay, I want you to try to name the coordinates on this one. Don't worry about naming the polygon yet. You could try, but don't worry about it. Name the coordinates. Go ahead and pause. Name those coordinates. All right, welcome back. Point L, we should have +3 and +8. Point M, +6, +8. Point N, you should have 0, +5. And point O, you should have 9, +5. And if I played connect the dots, shoop, 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 shoop. What shape is that? It is a trapezoid. Great job. Isn't this kind of fun? I like it. Maybe putting the points on the graph is more fun than identifying the ordered pair, though, or the coordinates. All right, I forgot on the last one to show you where the axes are, the x and the y axis. So maybe that was a struggle for you. Go ahead and pause your video and try this one. All right, welcome back. For point X, start at the origin. We go over 0. So I would put 0 for my first number. And I went down 1, so -1. Point Y, I went over 0 again, stayed on that y-axis, over 0, and then I went down 8, so I would have -8 here. And then on the point Z, I went to the left 4, so I'd have -4 here, and I went down 6, so I would have -6. Now you're pretty smart, and I bet you could guess what shape, if I only had 3, what shape I make. I make a triangle. Fantastic. All right, last one. I want you to do this one all on your own, and I will give you the answers in just a minute. Go ahead and click pause. Welcome back. Point Q is at +5, +2. Oh, that's point P. Just kidding. Point P is at +5, +2. Point Q is at +9, +2. Point R is at +5, -2. And point S is at +9, -2. And did you guess what kind of polygon it is? Hurry, guess. All right, the most specific answer you could give this is a square. A square. Yay! Now we get to actually plot the points on the coordinate grid instead of just naming the points. So here we have point A. It tells us -8, -2. So I start at, oh yeah, let me give you the origin, the axes on here so you can see the origin. Okay. Start at the origin, go left 8, puts me right here. And then I go down 2. So point A is right here. Okay. Point B, go to the left 8 again and up 9. So point B is right here. Point C, we'll go to the right 3 and go up 9. If you need to put those little bubbles in there, you can. And that was point C. And then point D, start at the origin, over 3, and then down 2. And that's point D. Nice. Now, if I played connect the dots, it asks me right here, what is this polygon? I think I went 1, 2. Yeah, I just connected them weird. What is this polygon? How many of you think it's a rectangle? Or it could be a quadrilateral, but most specifically, this is a square. All right, I'm going to start this one for you, and then you can finish it. Let's put this point on here over. Oh, does it? I hope it helps you to highlight these so you can see it. Start at the origin, and I go to the right 1. Then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's point F. Try point G and H on your own. Go ahead and pause. All right, point G would be about right here. Point G. And point H would be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Point H. Play connect the dots. What shape is that? It is a triangle. We don't have to say specifically what type of triangle, just that it's a triangle. Go ahead and try this one all on your own. Other than I will show you where the axes are, just so you can find that origin easier. Go ahead and pause. Welcome back. Point J would be about right here. Woo, that's J. Point K, oh, just kidding. Come on, Mrs. Smith. All right, point J, -1, left, up 10. So point J is actually up here. Good catch. Point K, -1, up 6. Point L, +7, positive 6, and point M, positive 7, positive 10. And if I connect the dots, what shape is that? It is a rectangle. Now let's see how well we can see these things on here. We want to make a square. So where would the next point be for a square? It would be down here in quadrant 4, lined up with point C and point A, right? A, B, C, D. Then it says name all the coordinates. We're not going to do that. We've already done lots of practice with that, okay? Where would the next point be for a triangle? Go ahead and try this one. Put your point in where you think a triangle would be. All right, I'm going to tell you there are lots and lots of different options for this one. No, it just depends on what type of triangle you wanted, but it didn't say specifically. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say whoop, right here at the origin, E, F, G. Now if I connected them, but your point could have been, let's take my point G off. Your point could have been over here or right here, or stretched out clear over here. But I could not have had my point. There's lots of different ways. Okay. Again, this one says name the coordinates. We're not going to do that. Don't worry about that. Just put the point on there. On this one, I do want you to put the new point on there and tell me the ordered pairs of them. So we would have H, I, J, and K. Pause. All right, welcome back. Point K should be somewhere right here. The coordinates for point H are -4, 0. For point I, 7, I think 7, nope, +6, 0. For point J, -4, -5. Point K, 6, -5. Check yourself, see how you did. Remember, if you struggled with the ordered pair, start at the origin, go left or right first, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go up or down. And I didn't have to go up or down, so it's 0. All right, take a look at this square here we have on our coordinate grid. What is the length of any side? How long is this side? So I'm just going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units. And I'm going to just put a U. Now it says it's a square, so all the sides should be the same, but let's check the height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, that one checks out. What is the area? Remember, area equals length times width. So 10 times 10, the area is 100 units squared. Remember, labels matter. Units squared. Here we have a triangle now. It says, what is the length of side CB? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. What do you think the area is if we're dealing with square inches? Well, let's find the length of AB. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, do you notice that this triangle is half of a bigger rectangle? If I put a point D in here. So what we have to do for triangles is we have to do length times our width and then divide it by 2. So 6 times 7, 6 times 7 divided by 2, we would have, what's 6 times 7? 42. divided by 2. And we would get 21 units squared. I want you to try this one. See if you can find the area of this rectangle. Follow these directions up here. Go ahead and pause. Welcome back. This side length is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This side is 13. Okay, units, right? Remember, for a rectangle, length times width. So I would have 13 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. So 39 units squared. If I could count the square pieces underneath that blue shape, I would count 39 square pieces. Welcome to the end of our lesson. You did it. You made it all the way to the end. Now go ahead and try the practice sheet that goes with this, and then you have an exit ticket to do. Best of luck.